Welcome to another episode of the Ballinesian Podcast here on the Polytickin network. Someone's talking about sports. Charger and Raider fan going to be talking about some good or bad possibilities for different players on Los Angeles and Las Vegas here on the Ballinesian Podcast. Thank you guys for tapping in every Wednesday, 9 a.m. where we are releasing new episodes, audio and video. Video on the Polytickin network YouTube page and audio on the Polytickin streams on Apple and Spotify podcast. Exciting times to be here. It is warming up out there. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Please drink water. Please don't forget.
Please drink water. Just gonna put my Coke down.
We are too grown to be so dehydrated. Shout out to Levasa Island Apparel. We are sponsored by Levasa, Brother E. Rye out there in Modesto, California. Make sure to follow them on Instagram, Le_Vasa, LE_VASA, to find out the latest. They just did the neighborhood market a couple weeks ago. There in Modesto, 1331 Cascade Avenue is the address, Via Dolorosa San Juan Church. And they're having another one coming up. So food vendors, different wares that you're going to be able to check out on Saturday, July 12th. There at the Via Dolorosa Church in Modesto. Follow Levasa Island Apparel for more information on that. And we're gonna see more clips. Man, every time he puts out a clip, I keep looking at the food.
I get sad because I forget sometimes that when he sends us that stuff, and then we're like, oh shit, man, I'm planning to go. And I think, not if I'm gonna drive 16 hours because I don't live in California. I'm like, damn it, I'm sad again.
Where do you go to get your island food fix up there in Washington?
Downstairs.
Nice.
No, I'm kidding. No animosity or hate towards Steven and Sons, but
shout out Steven and Sons.
I do go there, but like only once in a while. The food can be a little pricey. Especially if you're buying for like more than you. And when I go down there, I'm usually either with like my mom or like Noah when he comes from. The food is really good, no doubt about that. Pricing, it's a little pricey, but I guess that's the price for really good food. And also, it reminds you of home, so you're getting that too. You're paying for that too. Shout out to
that's priced in.
Yeah. There's a couple places. There's a place I can't tell you the name because they went up just a few months ago, but they're pretty good. Down in Renton, sorry, Kent actually. So there's also another place, Harvey Valley out here. Valley Harvest. What is going on right now? Valley Harvest out here in Federal Way. They're pretty good. They do Samoan food. Or any of my sisters my younger sister, Della, my gosh, she might make some of the best. I won't say Manapua because Manapua I think are different. From Samoa, we call them Kikipuas. They look like Manapuas, but feel differently.
What's that filling? What is that filling? It's a savory, it's a meat, right?
It's a meat, for me, the best filling, and it's I want to say it's like a teriyaki sauce. That's the only way I can explain it to you guys, but not actually a teriyaki sauce.
Right.
My favorite filling to go with that is muli pipi. For all you folks out here who don't eat muli pipi, it's turkey tail. And I know a lot of people who live in the States are like, turkey tail? Wow, you guys eat? Yes, we do. And they sell it here in the States. So, yeah. Can't be just us, damn it.
That butt.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you.
Gobble. Okay. Speaking of food, I'm trying this food challenge for July, right?
Good luck.
Thank you. So it's every Tuesday, beginning with the 1st, July 1st, which is when we're recording this. I'm gonna add like another food thing to the challenge, to the thing that I'm gonna do this month.
So are you gonna start with all of this stuff you're starting without?
Right. So right now I'm just gonna pick one of the 5 things, right? And so the 5 things for the challenge that I'm going to do, drink only water. Okay. At one of these Tuesdays, that's going to get activated. eat one fruit and vegetable per day, right?
Okay.
That's like, I feel like that could take over, that could be a dinner. If your dinner is a freaking tomato and orange, you'll be full enough to get to sleep. And what is that? 50 calories? Like it's nothing, man. Think about this. Okay. The third one is cut off all fast food and takeout, which is really big for me because I could eat out once, I could eat out multiple times a day, which is very bad, right? And that's just clogging up. So I'm gonna use that. The other challenge is to cut off all the sweets and snacks, candy, chocolate, slushies, chips, stuff like that. You're looking at all the stuff on your table.
It's my camera. Okay, that's all right. I have my background. You can't see. I'm like, can't shit.
And the last one is not to eat late, right? No eating after 8 p.m.
Okay. That's hard for the both of us because of the schedule we work. Like,
right.
Like I work the swing, so like from 3 to 11:30. I try to get something to eat like before that, but it's just like you eat something and then you get to work and you're like, God damn, I think I ate too early.
Right. Yeah. So you'd be messing it up. Right. And then you get off of work and you got to go home, right?
And
so you're
I try
still
not
awake.
To eat during work now. Right. And then you get home like 11:30 and you're like, damn, but I didn't eat all day because I only ate before I came to work. And I made myself guilty and I didn't want to eat during work. Now,
see?
Yeah. So.
You get it. So I'm trying to figure out maybe not 8 p.m. or something like that, but a time close enough that it's not eating super late, right? So again, the challenges are drink only water, no sodas, which I love, sweet drinks. Drink only water, eat one fruit and vegetable a day, cut out fast food, cut out sweets and snacks, and don't eat late. I've chosen to do it a certain way. I was going to line these up from easiest to hardest and then just do the hard ones later in the month, right? Because I'm going to add one of these every Tuesday, but I'm going to keep it going, right? So the first one I pick, we got to do it the whole month. Okay, next one, you got to do it for the rest of the month. The Tuesday after that, rest of the month. But I was talking to Sammy, and I initially wanted to keep fast food until 3 or 4 weeks in, even right until the end, just knowing how hard that's going to be. But that's number one because of this. Okay. Fast food, usually not great, right? It's burgers, it's fries, it's fried food, it's oil, it's meat, it's grease, it's fat. It's so tasty, so cheesy, so yummy. But it's also not healthy for you, and it's more expensive, right? So by cutting off the fast food trips, making that number one all July, no fast food, no eating out. By doing that, we're cutting off bad intake, and we're also saving money. So that's probably we're gonna start with that, and then I'm gonna go no eating next Tuesday, no eating late. After that,
they said no eating. I was like, what? Wait, what challenge is this?
New challenge. And then eat more fruits and vegetables, and then cut off all sweets. And then the last couple of days of July, I'm gonna be drink only water. And I know this is the freaking podcast that ends every episode with stay hydrated as its outro, first line in the outro. I just don't want to mess up and feel bad about messing up and then throw the whole thing away. So I'm going to keep my occasional sodas. I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to cut it down, being mindful of the whole month and the goal. But I'm going to also give myself an occasional juice treat throughout the month. While doing that, while picking something new every week to add to the food part, I'm also going to be trying to do more just exercise repetitions. I've chosen push-ups, sit-ups, and squats every day. I started at 20, and then every week add 20 more each day. I was like, man, I'm doing 0 right now, so I should probably chill and start with 10, and then add 10 every week, because
hey man,
let's chill out.
Chill out a little bit. You haven't been doing this at all. Just do 5.
Just do it. Just start.
No, just
do 5.
He said he talked himself out of 20 all the way into 5.
No. I have already been doing some of the exercises before the month start just to see where I'm at. And I think 10 is cool. 10 is cool. And then every Tuesday, I'm adding 10 more reps a day. So next week, it'll be 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, 20. And then by the end, the last 3 days of the month, it's going to be 50 a day. which isn't a lot for some people, some of you, gym guys, okay? But it's a lot for me because I have been doing none of it. I'm
You
going from
can get
0 to
to
50 in 1 month. I'm hoping the food and the just like
oh
exercise and
yeah,
stuff is gonna uh
of
help
course, yeah.
kickstart some stuff. But I was
Go ahead.
talking.
Take away protein so you have no muscle to do the exercise.
No, see, you got to eat
I'm
more
kidding.
protein at
I'm
home.
kidding. I'm
You
kidding.
got to
Yeah.
cook it at home. I was talking to the guys when I was talking about this on the Patreon, on the Polytickin Patreon, patreon.com/Polytickin Podcast, uh, that trying to get through this is really going to be important for me to not keep track of the results so closely.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
want to be on the scale in the mirror every day. Like, where are we at? Are we getting stronger? Am I looking more buff? Am I cutting down this gut? Basically, it's this freaking gut that I want to get rid of. But I don't want to make that, every day looking for where are the results? How is this going?
Right.
Stuff like that.
Right.
Just to and Erod talked about this, the process, falling in love with the process. We talked about that here on this show, but making it more about mindfulness and knowing my body and being able to feel what needs work, and also to have that basic discipline to keep at something even if the results aren't showing right away, which is something I feel like I lack. It's like as
Sure.
soon as I can get easily discouraged by seeing like, oh man, I've been doing this for like a month, for 2 months, and I'm still not seeing anything. But to just throw that expectation of seeing results and to just enjoy, yeah, man, I'm getting these push-ups in, I'm feeling this shoulder workout, I'm doing these different sit-ups and stuff, I'm doing crunches, whatever, and just like be able to bring my body up to something that freaking, is going to
Yeah.
be good and contributable, and that's like my family deserves like a good
I
strong
feel it. I feel it.
dad. So yeah, trying to get that kick started, going to be doing that this month, um and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, that's if you had to rank them, which ones would you do first, and which ones would you save for like the very last few days?
I would do the hardest first, so
For
I can
the
get that other.
no, so you if you do the hardest first, you're doing it for
Yeah,
the whole month.
the longest term.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do
Okay.
that first, so I can start that and like because then if I fuck up, excuse my language, anywhere in like early, it's still early. You know what I mean? It's still early. But definitely the sugary drinks. I drink a lot of soda. That is my kryptonite. Give me a Coke, give me a Pepsi, give me a Mountain Dew. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So uh, definitely that would be my first. That's what I would do first, so I could
Oh,
like
nice.
really just get that out of the way and
Hmm.
let my body because I drink I even though I drink sugar drinks, I still do drink a lot of water. That's no problem for me. I love water. I drink water every day. Like my routine
Nice.
before work is I'll stop at the gas station in the front. I'll fill up a big gulp of the cups that they have there, like a big gulp at 7-Eleven with just ice. Then I'll buy 2 bottles of water, drink one big one, and not just like the regular size bottle of water, but like the really big one
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
have, and then just drink that on the way to work. It's like a 40-minute drive for me, and then I have the second one that I drink throughout the night at work, with also the soda that I bought. But but so water's drinking water. That'll be the last one because I'm already drinking water. Fast food would be the second because again, just the convenience. If you work anywhere from like 3 to 11:30, like I do, or like the graveyard shift somewhere, it's hard not to just like stop somewhere on the way to work,
Hmm.
stop somewhere on the way home from work,
Yeah. After.
stop somewhere convenient, right? And just like go home and eat because the last thing you want to do when you're coming home from work at late at night is like get home and cook. One, I don't want to wake up the people in the house. Two, it's like,
Oh
man,
yeah.
working
Nice.
all day. I don't want to like it sounds like excuses. It could be too psychologically, but that's how I feel. Uh those would be the two hard ones, and then the rest would be easy, like drinking water. What was the other one?
What about candy?
So candy, I do eat a lot of candy, but like when I'm at the store, it's just like, nah, I just want something to like if I'm off and then I'm just gonna be playing like Call of Duty or whatever I'm playing at home, or like if I'm just like hanging around the house or I'm gonna do errands, I'll have like a bag of hard candy with me, like and stuff like that. But I don't need it like I need soda. Like
Hmm.
sodas, yeah. So candy, that'll probably be the third, and then water the fourth. So
And then eating a fruit and a vegetable every day.
that's easy too. Fruits are sweet. You gotta get that into your mind. Once you get that into your mind, like, hey, fruits are sweet too. All right, cool. I can eat a fruit. I love grapes. I'll put them in the freezer, freeze them for a little bit, and then I
Okay,
can sit
okay.
down and watch like whatever I'm watching TV and eat some frozen grapes. I like pears. Pears are good.
On a scale of 1 to 10, one being thawed out completely, 10 being totally frozen. What is that on the grape scale, frozen grape scale?
Oh
Because
man,
if it
frozen
gets
grapes.
too frozen, it's like it's a
It,
rock.
nah, they don't really get that hard, even when they're like frozen. Unless you leave them in there for like a couple of days, then you're screwed. But like if you left them in for a couple of days, that means you forgot you had grapes in the freezer. But no, yeah, if they're frozen, I love them frozen. Like I can eat a thawed out grape, that's fine. But I don't know what it is when they're frozen enough just to like, you know, like they're not mushy, but when yeah,
You're
when
saying
they're
like a 7 or a 8 on the frozen scale?
yeah, I'll say 7. Yeah, like a 7.
7.
Just good enough to hurt
Change the
somebody if you
texture.
throw it at them, but still be able to chew them. Yeah, so
All right.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean for the food challenge, I'm hoping it's just being able to stick to it will
Look, I know
be the
burgers
best.
are always going to be a big
Oh,
thing.
burgers, yep.
But if you like want to fix a burger, just grab some ground beef from the yo. If you don't shop at Winco, then you are in a better tax bracket than I am. But I'll be at Winco, so you go to Winco, man. Get you some ground beef. Not the you can get the ones that are like from the big companies, but buy the ones that they make there. It's a little cheaper.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
cheaper.
Season it what you want, but while you're making your patties, don't forget while you're mixing it in, pour yourself some. Okay, here you go, library or dictionary, please. Pour some Worcestershire sauce in there. Pour some Worcestershire sauce in there. See, yeah, see. I was just telling Lance earlier that this is the one word I don't care if I get wrong from people because it's like if you got it right, well, good freaking for you
It's just
because
that it changes every time we say it.
exactly. Uh,
Mine's the shy.
don't forget the Worcestershire,
Worcestershire.
the Worcestershire, Frodo from the Shire, whatever you want. But if you mix that in while you're doing your ground beef for your patties, get that. They also have a tool you can find at Walmart or any other store like that you can put it into this plastic thing and it lets you fill it. So you have a stuffed burger. You can fill it with
Oh,
bell peppers. You know what I
okay.
mean? So you're trying to
Okay.
eat vegetables in a burger. You can put bell peppers. Ah, see, and bell peppers in a burger. I'm telling you, they go great. And then if
Nice.
you like fries and you don't want to do the deep frying of like potato fries, get you some sweet potatoes. Cut up your sweet potatoes, drizzle just a
Okay.
little bit of olive oil on it. Throw it in the oven or put it in your air fryer. Yeah, so super good. Sweet potatoes are better than
Okay.
regular fries anyway.
Cutting
So
out the fast food guy.
yeah,
We're getting the meat, the Worcestershire sweet potato
yep,
fries with some olive oil, and we're getting our own burger and fries
yeah.
instead of paying hella money and for worse stuff. Okay.
Don't
I
forget the
like it.
Worcester sauce.
Don't forget the Worcestershire. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll have some updates on that as July goes along. We'll check in every week. Let's talk about good times and bad times. Now, this
Hmm.
exercise that we were doing today is kind of like just how quickly things turn around or go down in flames in the NFL. Football is I feel like an ever-changing game, but some people get rolled up real quickly and some people come out of the woodwork. Some players are just all of a sudden rocket arrow pointing up that you didn't see coming. And then sometimes you have guys that have been perennial all stars or all pros for years, Justin Tucker, being suspended for 10 games, being out, like their career is over. You know what I'm saying? And then
Right, right.
what we're going to do today is we're going to go through some of the players on the Chargers and Raiders and maybe even out there in the NFL where the 2025 season could make or break not their career. Not to say that they're going to be done if they have a bad
Damn.
season, but this is like the path of their career diverges into two different directions based on how the 2025 season goes. All right, we'll go back and forth between different Chargers and Raiders players as we explain this.
That's you're gonna break into one man, one dream, one path.
this fall,
this fall
in an NFL stadium near you. Let's get this guy out of the way. This is just an example, right? Aaron Rodgers. Okay, a good season for Aaron Rodgers could mean that he's forgiven for all the bull crap that he's done for the last couple of years. Another bad season kind of makes half of Aaron Rodgers' career look really bad, where a lot of people are going to be able to say, yeah, he was good, but his career fell apart 10 years ago. If he leads the Pittsburgh Steelers to the freaking Super Bowl, to a Super Bowl win, this being his last year, he could retire out on top. He could be like, reinstate his ghost status, and people are going to use the last couple of years of like drama and trauma and psilocybin and darkness retreats. They're going to say that was all just conjecture. It was all, media twisting things. Look at him. He led the Steelers to a Super Bowl win. He's one of the greatest 3 Super Bowl wins ever. He's a GOAT. If it goes bad, it's just going to be more of the same story for the last couple of years since Aaron Rodgers left the Green Bay Packers. He's had a fallout with them, went to the Jets, fallout with them. He's just a cancer, stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do. Kind of like look at both sides of that. Do you agree with the Aaron Rodgers part of that? Or do you think a good season could save his career and a bad season kind of makes him look like an idiot for real for a longer time?
Sorry, sir. I no longer address any questions that are geared towards Aaron Rodgers, sir. We're no longer answering any questions about someone who's just not all there. But
we're not gonna pick on him.
No, yeah, he's just done so much from the time he was like a Super Bowl winning quarterback to like a guy that was number 1 in the league after winning the Super Bowl. And then after that, just like I liken it to like musical artists. Like, okay, yeah. So like you get signed, you got to do all this stuff. Like you got to do these albums the way the record company wants them, and then they're like, okay, well you've done so much in the game, you could do this album the way you want to do it. And then all of a sudden,
back-to-back MVPs. There's that success, right? After they were like Kanye beat Kanye, and he was like, "Sure, 808 and Heartbreaks, beautiful."
Right, and then in your head you're like, "Well, shit, I'm the greatest of all time." Right? Yeah, do what I really want. I can do anything now, and it's like you're the only person that lives in that space in your head. No one else lives in that space except for you, and that's what I feel like Aaron Rodgers is right now. And if he does, if he takes, you have really high expectations for him, like a Super Bowl win, man.
No. I don't think that's going to happen.
I know. I'm saying, but like I would just be like, hey, he's cool if he takes him to the playoffs. That's how low my bar is for him. I'm like, if he gets a Super Bowl, I'm apologizing for all the bad things I've said about Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, what? See, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. If he gets to the Super Bowl and even wins it, people are going to be like, oh, damn, maybe I was tripping.
I would only apologize because, like, I definitely don't believe he's like that good anymore. But like, if he makes it to a playoff, I don't even think he's good enough to take him to a playoff. Even with the additions that he made, even with how they robbed or got robbed by the Dolphins, you know what I mean? They traded Minka Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey. Fitzpatrick is younger.
The Dolphins and the Steelers made a trade. Minka Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins, Jalen Ramsey, and Jonnu Smith.
And Jonnu Smith. Yeah. Are you kidding? And a pick. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if he takes him to even with all the guys, they went out and got an elite wide receiver in DK Metcalf to pair with a wide receiver who has elite skills. Who got shipped out. But who else? They Ramsey, Smith. They got Rodgers. They've done a lot this offseason. So we'll see. I mean, if he does.
But you said if he makes the Super Bowl, you're gonna be like, "Oh, he's good."
That's what
I'm saying. if he flames out, the other thing about making the playoffs, the Steelers always make the playoffs. So Aaron Rodgers, that doesn't really move the
Yeah,
needle for
but
me.
he didn't
Like
last year. He didn't the year before. And people, oh, he was injured. No, he was just weird. But I think his skills of like kind of just they're not good enough for him to make the playoffs. Is what I'm saying. He's still probably top 50, I guess, in the league at quarterbacks,
the
but
Steelers are going to take him to the playoffs. They're going to get
the
him to the
Steelers will.
playoffs. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Totally different
But
than
if
him
he
taking
takes
them.
them, like if he
Yeah,
goes up, then I think that's like a freaking,
definitely.
and that's not
And
just a season ending. That is a career end change because
yeah,
everyone is mad at Aaron Rodgers right now, and like all his good stuff was a long time ago. That if he rebirths something good, especially for Pittsburgh, which is a cornerstone franchise, it's like he's gonna reset. He's gonna be like Pete Rose, who's
definitely.
like allowed to
Yeah,
be in the Hall of Fame now. Like
yeah,
it's reset now. All
yeah.
right, so for Chargers and Raiders players, is are there any Raiders who you think are kind of on that precipice of like a good season could make them a household name and a bad season could maybe get them cut or something?
For sure. For the Raiders, right off the bat, is a guy who the last 8 games of not this past season, but the season before that, he racked up 8 sacks within the last. I think it was the last 8 games that he got 8 sacks, which was Malcolm Kuntz, and then he came into the 2024 season and got hurt. Like yeah, his trajectory, or a lot of people were talking about him being like the perfect guy across from Max Crosby, like the perfect complement to Max Crosby. Like they were about to wreck the league last season, and
Mm-hmm.
then he got hurt. So you know, I think if he comes out, I think they gave him a little more money too. They re-signed him. They kept him in Las Vegas. So if he comes out has a great season, then everybody's proven right. His skill set uh, is amazing. He's that rush end that you want on the side. He also plays the run pretty well. But if he doesn't, then Raiders front office is wrong for giving him more money.
They
Uh,
just gave him an extension,
yeah,
like the new regime this
yeah,
summer.
yeah. And then like if he doesn't do well, also then it's like it was a fluke. Those 8 sacks that he had
Oh,
in the
okay,
game, that was a fluke, and like it was the end of the season, and maybe people weren't playing as hard, which I don't believe. People are going to play hard all the
right.
time in the league. But yeah, it can really make or break his career because if he does great, it's going to send him into a whole nother like level of or tier of edge rushers, defensive ends. And those are premium, and that's a premium position now in the league. Um, so
There
yeah, that's my first one.
and there are also guys on the Raiders that are like big names, but I feel like they would all good or bad season. It's going to be good for them. Brock Bowers, Max Crosby,
For
those.
sure. Those guys are easy.
I
Also
mean, good or bad, it's because we've seen how good they can be.
yeah,
That if they have a bad season, it's going to be like, oh, whatever, it's a fluke. It's not
right.
going to change much for them. They're still
Yeah,
going to come back the next year.
and
Expectations are still going to be high. So
still be high.
yeah,
Another guy, maybe like what I mean, on the defensive end side, besides those two, would be amazing. But right now, I think for Kuntz, just because he's coming off the injury and
yeah.
all the expectations that he had. I know a lot of people are wanting me to
Ooh.
say the other dude that they drafted, Ty. Why can't it say? That's how bad he is. He was like the number 4 pick, number 6, 7 pick in a couple of drafts ago, and out of Texas Tech, and I can't remember his last name.
For Kuntz, um, there that he's just because he just got signed to a contract. He's going to be there for a couple more years. Or do you remember how
Yeah,
long the contract was for? 3 years or
I
something.
can't remember.
Okay.
I want to say 3.
All right, for the Chargers, I think about Justin Herbert a lot. For this exercise, especially, I was thinking about quarterbacks, just random quarterbacks, and who we want to see succeed, who we don't want to see fail, and what that can mean the way the ball bounces. But especially for Justin Herbert, so far he has played like a good quarterback, but the wins haven't kind of backed that up, right? So he can have
Yeah,
good quarterback play, but Justin Herbert is not considered a great quarterback because great quarterbacks win. Great quarterbacks, no matter what, find a way to pull a W, out of the jaws of defeat. The Chargers franchise is the opposite of that. The Chargers find ways to pull a loss out of the jaws of victory. There's so many ways that the Chargers have handed over wins at the last second or been up by 4 scores and lost magnificently. Up 28-0 versus the Jaguars in the wild card round a couple of years ago. Trevor Lawrence intercepted them 4 times. Jaguars come back to win. Out there in Houston, when we should beat a hurt Texans team, the Texans, shut down the Chargers offense. So this season for Justin Herbert, 2025, I feel like a bad season could be like just strengthen those kind of whispers of like, oh, he ain't got it. He's not that guy. He's not a guy. He's not a dude. But a good season kind of gets him back into that top 5 talk, right? Even a couple years ago, especially in fantasy football, Justin Herbert was one of the guys that was like, oh, keep a lookout for this guy. He's showing that he can really sling it. He can really connect downfield, and he's launching that ball. But definitely for the last few years, maybe this year, the year before, especially with a more run heavy offense coming with Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman taking the ball out of Justin Herbert's hands, so to speak. He's kind of been tossed aside. He's kind of gotten that Trevor Lawrence treatment of like, oh yeah, he was supposed to be good, but it hasn't really turned out. So whatever, maybe he's not good. But a good season off of the rushing attack. Give me those freaking play action drop back bombs to like Jalen Guyton, Josh Palmer days. Mike Williams is back for that. And it could be, oh, Justin Herbert is a guy you got to pay attention to. This is a guy that's making things happen. And I think upgrading some of the wide receivers definitely helps because those opportunities have always been out there. Those bombs, stretching the field. Yeah. But the Chargers receivers haven't always been able to hold on to them. So getting more receivers, Tyler Conklin's in there. Some of these new guys that we're really excited about, Trey Harris, Rondo Smith, Gatson, KLS, Lambert Smith, as well as bringing back Mike Williams and having Ladd McConkey. It's supposed to help Justin Herbert really do good and for all those opportunities to turn into catches instead of drops.
It might be a bad sign that they signed his replacement over the summer. So
his replacement, Justin Herbert's replacement?
Yeah, DJ.
Oh, DJ Uiagalelei. Yeah, wearing 13. That is I mean, I'm so happy to see him like posting pictures at Chargers camp. It's hard to see Chargers 13 and not think about how Keenan Allen should have been back with Mike Williams this year. Hey, you guys go make $30 million in 2024 and then come back in 2025. Okay, that's the plan.
He's also still unsigned. Unsigned.
All right. Justin Herbert, could you see like if he has a good year, could you see him entering like back into that Joe Burrow kind of territory?
For sure. He's still got the skill. You can see it. I mean, when he gets onto the field, you're waiting for something like spectacular to happen. Like for him to throw, like you said, throw one of those play action bombs down to Johnston so Johnston can drop it in the end zone. I mean, but the throw.
Whoa, yeah.
The throw is going to be amazing.
All right, who on the Raiders you got?
Man, for the Raiders, I want to Troy Polamalu, because he's been on the practice squad for so long. He got there right out of USC. He's been working his tail off, and then they had a couple injuries last season. And he was able to come in and fill a role. But every offseason, they would have like the talk shows and the YouTube videos you would see, and people all these guys podcasting, and you would ask, oh, who do you think is making strides? Who do you think is going to break out this season? And it's like, Polamalu's name comes up like every offseason. But then he was stuck behind Mike Epps last season. Then he went down, where he got his opportunity. The season before that, he was behind Mayreg and who was the other safety there? Another safety. And then the season before that, he was on the practice squad, but they kept talking about him. Oh, he's making these strides. he's about to come up and get some playing time. So now he's a full-time starter this season. Without any injuries or anything like that. They they made him the starter. So he's a big safety, 6'4".
Mhm.
I think he's about 220.
Pull him out starting this year.
He's starting this year. He's starting
Nice.
this year. So um
Big opportunity.
right. So like again, like we were talking about, if he doesn't make it, it's not that like bad for him as other players, but if he doesn't make it, people are gonna go, well, that's just a whole bunch of talk. He was where he should have been on the bench or on the practice squad. Like you guys should have just signed another safety because Justin Simmons is still out there. There's still a couple of safeties that you can go
Wow.
with. Um, but if he does produce the way people think he's going to produce, then all the summer talk that he's been getting is right on par. They're gonna know that that guy works his tail off, and he's been working his tail off since he got into the league. He's also the nephew of Troy Polamalu. And then the last names, I mean, I know a lot of people, us especially Polynesians, understand that Polamalu and Polamalu, two different last names, but there's gonna be a lot of people who aren't Samoan or Polynesian and be like, oh, no wonder, Polamalu's nephew, Polamalu. But my man, he hits. He hits like a linebacker. He's lengthy enough that and rangy. He can cover on the field from sideline to
Mhm.
sideline, from the front of the line to the back. Um, he's fast. He gets everywhere. Just so fluid on the field when he's on the field, man. But I think a lot of the guys like him a lot because he can really come down and hit stick you. If you're not careful,
Hey.
I mean, Polamalu's going to be there to put your lights out. So, yeah.
Ooh, lights out. Sean Merriman reference. I like it.
Oh my gosh.
Another guy on the Chargers I was thinking about having like a good or a bad season and how that could affect their career is Polamalu's cousin, Tuipulotu.
Mm.
So Tuli's talking, by the
USC
way.
grads. USC grads.
Tuli Pulotu, second round pick 3 years ago by the Chargers before Tom Telesco moved to the Raiders and then was fired. Uh, it, and then Deion Henley was a third round pick that year. Oh man,
Right.
nice. So Tuli Pulotu, Joey Bosa was the second overall pick like 10 years ago. Joey Bosa was cut by the Chargers. He's now playing for the Buffalo Bills. He's missing time because he's hurt. Khalil Mack is a first ballot Hall of Famer, signed a 1 year, $18 million contract for the Chargers
Oh yeah,
to
you
come
know
back.
it.
He's probably done after this season. So the Chargers' top two, some of the top two most talented like edge rushers for the Chargers are gone after 2 years. And Thule has this opportunity this year, and according to the coaches, he's going to get the chance, right? To be out on the field across from Khalil Mack to show that he could be the cornerstone edge rusher, go getter, quarterback sacker of this franchise moving forward. Uh, I feel like Thule for the first year of Jim Harbaugh last year realized like, yo, if you're not going to give me all the opportunities to get out there and sack the quarterback, be out there every third down and rush the passer, uh, this fool went and played every special team snap. He was willing to like kind of pay his dues, so to speak. This is a second round pick that the Chargers unleashed as a rookie. And I think he got a handful of sacks, but just as a rookie to be able to play off that showed really great promise for
For
him as
sure.
a edge rusher. Now, he's not the biggest, right? But he's throwing them tees up every game because he's finding ways to get back there into the backfield, sack the quarterback, make big plays, whether that's wrapping up big running backs or running backs coming bouncing out to the side. He is getting out there, getting his nose to the football and making plays. The problem is that he was from the old regime. Like I said, one of the last drafts by Tom Telesco, and now the GM Jim Ortiz, who came over for the Ravens, him, new coach Jim Harbaugh, they have a different vision. The defensive coordinator, what's the defensive coordinator's Jesse Minter? I was afraid that Minter like didn't see Tuipulotu like as a future piece of his offense or his defense when they first came, just not seeing him as a edge rusher all the time out there last season.
Right.
But Minter is one of the guys talking about it. Some of the coaches are talking about this is Tui's chance. We're going to give him, he's a monster and we're going to unleash him this year. So if this goes right, Thule has a chance to become the freaking guy for an NFL team that needs pass rushing, right? He's going to be able to sign a huge contract. He's going to be able to re-sign with the Chargers. He's going to get those opportunities out there on the field to show what he can do. And if he does good, he's the guy. He gets the money. He gets the recognition. He's going to use that money and to get even better. Hopefully, that's a great positive kind of extrapolation of it. If he does bad, there's chances that they start talking about, oh, he's not, he's got passion, but not all the tools, right? Not all the physicality that we need at that position. He kind of gets thrown aside and just tagged as somebody that was like, oh yeah, he's from the last general manager. We didn't even really want him. He's not really one of our guys. Yeah, he's good. They're not gonna like dog him like that, but they're gonna be like, it's understandable he doesn't fit into our vision because we didn't even draft him. And then he kind of finds another way or tries to figure out how he's going to get there. But Tuli Tuipulotu, 2025, big season. Is it make it or break it? No, I think he's way too talented for, a bad season to throw him off, even though it would be big money if he gets it good, because then he start negotiating for that contract in 2027, and or else he could be an unrestricted free agent. So Tuli is definitely somebody I'm going to be watching this year, cheering on, hoping he does good. You want me to finish out the Chargers? Coach,
there's no one else on the Chargers who are going to be any like.
Jim Harbaugh doesn't really matter, right? Because if it's good, it's like, oh yeah, Jim Harbaugh's a great coach. We already knew that. And if it's bad, it's just a speed bump, so to speak.
Well, also, I think he's ahead of his schedule. Like, he took them to the playoffs, came in, changed a lot of things, changed the whole culture there. I know that's been said, probably overused now. Every offseason or every new coach, a change of character around the league. You know what I mean? But I think he's done what he's was set out to do his first season. So, I mean, if he has, like you said, one bad season, speed bump.
I wonder if it would have been better if we had a bad season last year and then a playoff appearance and loss this year, because getting to the playoffs in year one, exactly. The expectations are do better. The expectations are get to the playoffs and win at least one game, right? So, and if it's bad, if the Chargers miss the playoffs, then it's going to be, actually, I don't think if the Chargers. Actually, I don't think it's that bad. If the Chargers miss the playoffs this year, they can just the staff, Harbaugh, Ortiz, can just write it off and say, this is year 2 of a rebuild. This isn't, this is what we expected. It's going to be tough. We still got to build the roster. They're going to give whatever excuse, but the expectation is going to be, we knew it was going to be hard. So just because you guys wanted a Super Bowl right away, something like that. But speaking of coaches, for Patrick Graham, defensive coordinator for the Raiders, I feel like he was getting some head coaching buzz last year, or at least defensive coordinator buzz when, Antonio Pierce left and we thought, the Raiders were going to clean house, fire all their coordinators and stuff. He was definitely doing interviews, but is this a season that could, I don't know, make or break Patrick Graham's coaching career?
They did re-sign him to, I think it's a 3-year contract. Yes, it could be a make or break for him because he's been with the Raiders now for 3 seasons. There's a lot of talk about when he was signed, like just the next defensive coordinator to do like great things. He also has his own system that he's implemented. It's like a hybrid system of between a nickel and a 4-3 defense, but he likes to play a lot of 3 safety. So he'll have 3 safeties out there. He'll bring one down almost to where the linebacker is supposed to be at, and he'll play him there. The coverage is different. It's not as conventional as a lot of nickel coverages. So, once you have you got your own system going in there, you've been there for 3 years, at some point within that time, people are going to want to see what got you there. Because, obviously, people saw it wherever he was before the Raiders and were just like, oh, shit, great coach, system he's implementing is working. It's different, but it's, it's working. So now that he's had time to, I guess, find the players that he needs to work in that system and the players who have been there, now that they have a couple of years within the system, they should be able to just flow freely now within his system. And he was getting a lot of head coaching buzz not head coaching, but like top tier defensive coordinating jobs. Like I know he had an interview with Seattle. Seattle was talking about it. Um, Atlanta, Washington, and somewhere else was talking about him. Some of these teams still had their DC when they were talking about it, but I think if he has a great season
Damn.
here, it kind of just solidifies him as one of the better defensive coaches in the league. But also, I think it takes him from just being looked at as a defensive coordinator around the league to being a head coach if he can get his defense dialed in this season. And
Is he good with players? Like, is there not
there's not
player
much buzz where like guys are like,
interaction? You know,
yeah, I mean, there's not much buzz out there like where Patrick Graham is like that player's coach where he has like a couple like how you saw with Antonio Pierce when he was
hmm
there.
hmm
Totally
fired
different.
up.
He's the head coach, so yeah, fired up and guys were just like, there was like one or two guys that were just like, that's my guy, like that was their guy. The whole team would have ran through a wall for AP, but like he had those one or two guys that just rode for him, and you don't hear real stories about that with Patrick Graham. You hear that he's a great coach and he has great ties with his players, but nothing like out there like you know anything you'd hear from one of those guys that are like a players coach, I guess. But a lot of people like his system. A lot of people want to come over there and play in what he's teaching. So
So what I'm worried about is if it goes badly for the defense of the Raiders, like if the Raiders are in shootouts and not able to,
yeah,
stop him, that he's going to be the one that gets blamed.
oh
And
for
kind of
sure,
the similar in the way that Tuipulotu is from the old regime. I feel like if things go bad for the Raiders defense, Patrick Graham might be the scapegoat, kind of sacrifice at the end of the year where, we were hoping he would get like head coach looks after this, but if it's so bad, he might get fired. Kind of
yeah,
like Bobby Slowick for the Houston Texans. We were thinking he
sure.
was going to take over and be a head coach, and then all of a sudden he's out of a job because it went badly.
But like for Patrick Graham, like I think it's a good sign for him that they re-signed him to come back instead of like he was still on contract and he decided to just like,
Oh, yeah.
nah, I want to stay and finish my contract. No, the team wanted him back, gave him like the money, a little bit more money than he had or was
Good.
previously getting from them. So I think Pete Carroll, being a defensive guy, kind of likes what he sees coming out of Patrick Graham's camp. So yeah,
Okay, and finally for the Chargers on this good or bad, make it break it 2025 season, I have the Johnson and Johnson brothers. Zion Johnson has been switched to center. He was drafted also by the past regime, right? There's this
yep,
thing where it's like that's not really my guy. He's from the old guys that picked him. Zion Johnson moving to center could be good. But the Chargers declined his 5th-year option last year. So he's a free agent after this. So if Zion Johnson moves to center and does amazing, he can go to free agency and tell everybody, hey, I'm a great center. I'm also a first-round draft pick and only 4 years into my career. You can draft me. He's probably going to cash in real big in free agency if Zion Johnson has a great year. If he has an okay year and it looks like he's still developing at the position, that is very new for him, which is be very understandable. I think he just chills and resigns with the Chargers. So it's not. I'm kind of rooting against Zion Johnson from doing a really good job. Like I don't want him to look like unnatural because he's leaving next year. Then these fools declined his 5th-year option, said they don't believe in him. Why would he stay? So he could get big money somewhere else. And then the year after they took Zion Johnson, Tuli Pelotu, and Deion Henley, the Chargers drafted Quentin Johnston in the first round, wide receiver out of TCU, a pick after the Seattle Seahawks took Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think that's who we wanted. I think that's who we wanted, and then we panicked when JSN went the pick before us, so we took this run after catch receiver when we needed a friggin' X down the sideline guy.
when you guys needed someone to catch the ball.
We needed a receiver with hands. Quentin Johnson has had the dropsies, Butterfingers, the first couple of years. This is Quentin Johnson's 3rd NFL season, right? He looked a lot better in year 2. It's possible that he looks like a very good professional wide receiver that catches balls and breaks up the sideline. in 2025. And this is very important for Quentin Johnston because after the third year and before the fourth year is when first round picks are decided whether that fifth year option is picked up. Okay. So if Quentin Johnston, and it would take a lot, right? It would take a really good campaign, but I feel like year three is when people make the leap. Not even in just sports. Like if you've been doing something for 3 years, it's like the imposter syndrome has also kind of fallen off. You've gained enough experience, information to know how things work, and you're not on the bottom of the totem pole anymore, right? There's younger guys that you kind of get to sun and feel a little older and more experienced and more captain. Like I'm a vet now, year three. Um, it's possible for him to get his fifth year option picked up. I would say it's like 12% possibility right now. But if he does amazing next to Ladd McConkey, who should be opening him up, Tyler Conklin, who should be opening up the middle, keeping those defenses focused on Justin Herbert over the middle, Quentin Johnston, take off and catch these touchdowns. It could be great for him. He could get his fifth year option picked up. If Quentin Johnston continues to drop passes, though, and has a bad season, this guy might be off the team next year. Forget your fifth year option. You might not make your fourth year. If Ladd McConkey, they drafted 2 wide receivers and a tight end. They're drafting pass catchers. And it's like they don't believe in QJ. So this is a real, I think, make it or break it year for him. Big money possibility. I think even if he does good, they might decline it. But if he does really good, there's a chance that they pick up his fifth year option. And here's their long term with Justin Herbert and Ladd McConkey. But yeah, those are who I have for the Chargers. Zion Johnson or Quentin Johnston. You think if they do good or bad, anything they could get cut or what?
Oh, I think Quentin Johnston's getting cut, but I think Zion Johnson is going to have an amazing season.
An amazing career somewhere as a center.
Somewhere else. That's football though. But like again, that's the negative side of it. But he could also have a really great season. Love San Diego. Sorry, never mind because they're not in San Diego. He's gone. No, I'm just kidding.
Never mind. It's over.
Really season. Love LA. Love the team, and he could own up to him not fulfilling what he should have been fulfilling already, and just maybe thank the team for moving him over to center, giving him a like new life to his career. You know, it didn't happen with my man that was with Philadelphia. That they moved him to guard after they signed him from the Jets, and then he left.
Mekhi Becton?
Yeah.
The Chargers' current right guard, Mekhi Becton? Wow, this guy.
It's like poetic. It's like poetic justice. If Zion Johnson has a really great year and ends up leaving, because you guys did that to the Eagles. So, but yeah, I like Zion Johnson to break out.
Arma.
I like Zion Johnson.
All right. I'm gonna do another trivia challenge between Sefa and Marcus on the Patreon. And Marcus is the current champion, so he chose general sports as the topic.
General sports.
Yeah, general sports. So we'll have to do this off air, but I need you to help me put together like 9 to 11 questions. Just general, like how many people are on a soccer pitch at one time? I feel like it's gonna be so. It's gonna be so funny.
It's gonna be horrible.
It's gonna be. We're gonna see how little we know, but it's got to be like and not like history or anything. Just general sports.
No,
I feel like it's gonna be about how sports works or
like
how many points is a home run. What does the run RHE mean above a box score?
Over box score. I mean, hey. Or what is a PAT? Not too many people know.
Okay. Yeah. See, so if you want to hear your questions about general sports on the Polytickin Patreon trivia challenge between Sefa and Marcus, definitely send those in. Drop those however you can. Ballinesian on Instagram and TikTok or ballinesian@gmail.com, and we will ask those questions if we can verify them for answers. All right, before we do shout outs, Super Bowl 60, real quick. I feel like we're just going to we're trying to figure out fundraisers, and I was thinking fantasy leagues, right? We can do different kinds. We can do survivor pools, fantasy leagues. Some of the cut goes to expenses or whatever. I feel like we're gonna pay most of this just out of pocket, just gas and travel or whatever. And I don't think we're gonna have to pay to get into places, but travel and stuff like that. And then I
Yeah.
was thinking about lodging, right? Lodging's like $100, $200 a night, depending on hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Uh, what is the least amount of money you're willing to spend on lodging when we go to San Francisco for Super Bowl 60?
I don't know, like that's tough because like yeah, I want to sleep in a comfortable bed, but it doesn't have to be like the greatest like hotel because you can find somewhere like the at least a bit clean room beds are decent. But I also feel like you can't spend too much because if we're down there for all of that, I don't know how much time we're gonna spend inside the room. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. What's the point in paying for something if
yeah,
most of the time
yeah,
you're going to be out there busy?
yeah. So I mean, I don't know if we could also look in. People are gonna think I'm crazy right now, but I know in LA there's a lot of parking structures that if you park there like at 7, they let a lot of people, a lot of homeless people stay at these parking structures. That if you park
Oh,
7 to 7, you
mhm.
stay inside from 7 to 7, and then there's a floor where they have like a bathroom and shower that you can use. So I mean,
So I'd be willing to do that, is one thing,
that's what I
right?
mean. We can. There's a lot of options. We can check it out. I don't know if
Sleep
the
in the
city
car
got.
and then just get showers somewhere and then go
Yeah,
out and talk
yeah,
to people about the Super Bowl, about football, about food.
right.
San
Uh,
Francisco. Yeah. So in Portland, the transit centers are 24-hour parking. You can park at any of the transit centers for up to 24 hours.
oh, nice.
So I'm like, if there's something like that where it's free and we just freaking sleep in the car, do like
You guys don't
inflatables or
hear from
blankets or
us.
something.
You guys don't hear from us after that trip.
We are around.
Me and
Uh,
somebody killed us in San Francisco.
yeah. So, yeah, I wanted to ask that question. That was going to be my catch up as far as road to the Super
No,
Bowl.
for
What are
sure.
you
Yeah,
willing to spend? What's
I
this?
mean, yeah, because like it's tough, man. Because you can find again if you look hard enough and you're not really particularly picky about certain things, you can find places for like $40 a night. But it's not the best place in the world. I can tell you that. It won't be in the best neighborhood in the world. I'm not
Yeah.
scared of that either. That's
Yeah. Neither am
some of the places we've all stayed in are pretty questionable, or grew up in, depending on who you are.
I.
I mean,
Or
and
lived in.
or lived in, it
Sure.
might feel like you're at home and safe when it's not for the rest of America. But hey, um, yeah, we just have to look like, and then we also have to be expecting prices to be a little higher during that time because
Yeah.
just like in the American way, because it is the American way, when there's opportunity, there's raised prices.
All right. People are going to get that money. People are going to get that money.
Just a couple weekends ago, me and one of the kids from work, we were given an opportunity to go watch the soccer game here. The Sounders, they played in the World Club World Cup Club tournament, and they played against a team. Oh, I forgot who they played against, but a team from Brazil. Uh, and when I was like, man, parking's gonna be crazy. We are leaving from the facility I work at, which is like probably like maybe less than 20 minutes uh, from where I work at. The stadium was, and in the morning, the Lyft and Uber rides were like $20, affordable, like something you could. I'll pay $20 to go and twenty
Yeah.
bucks back. And then as the time got closer to the game, I checked it at 8 in the morning, $20. Got to work around. No, I checked it before I was getting ready for work. I checked it around like maybe 12. All right, it's like 29, close to 30, like real close to 30. Okay, still manageable. I got to work at 3 and that mug said 49.50. I was like, oh,
Dang. To get to the stadium?
just to get to the stadium, which was 20 minutes away. And mind you, it's not like they're parking. You're gonna pick me up and drop me off the same,
Yeah.
you
Take
traffic
the
cycle.
train.
That's what I mean. And then I was like, bro, never mind, I'm going to park because if I'm paying that anyway for a ride, that's parking. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. Might as well
Taking
take
out
your own stuff. Yep.
right. You taking out the convenience now, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna pay for that and parking. So, which was shitty because when we got there, we're even every parking place that's close to there turns into sporting event parking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yep, yep.
now something that was like
Money.
2 hours for $15, now it's $60. So we pay for $60 parking, and that's what I'm saying. So like during that time when we get there, like living or accommodations for lodging, definitely gonna be lifted anywhere
Somebody's
close.
gonna. Yeah.
Yes, people are gonna
Hmm.
they'll know. So we'll just have to figure it out, or we'll just ask Eri to rent a U-Haul. We can sleep in the back of the U-Haul, for the weekend and drive around with Eri and check out the sights and all the stuff going on in San Francisco for the weekend, and just shower in Modesto and then drive back to Frisco. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We for sure will. Hope you guys join us there. It's gonna be exciting. We love football. You ever been to a Super Bowl? Like not even to a Super Bowl, but like in the city of a Super Bowl city.
No, no, I was planning on going to the Vegas one, but life got in the way.
Yeah, I've never been to a Super Bowl city during Super Bowl week before. And I feel like for people that
It's one of the
love the
biggest events
sport
in
and are,
America.
yeah, it's big for us too. So we're hoping to be
Yeah,
there. Hope you guys follow our journey there and let us know.
sure.
Also what you guys want to see when we get there, because we can like go there, whatever. It'll be great. But as far as content, it helps a lot knowing,
Man, my
what
inspiration
people
now
might
for
want to
like
see.
getting out there and doing things is Samoan Raider. He was just allowed to be at the what is it called? The SAC Summit, or where all the defensive ends got together,
Oh,
and
nice.
practice together. So he was able to go to that, like, do the interviews. He was on the field at the time. But he's been doing it for a little bit in Vegas. Like, he's his podcast is pretty well known in Vegas within the sporting community, like the professional sporting community. So he's gotten interviews with Powers Johnson.
Yeah, like content and stuff, social
Right.
media stuff too.
Who else did you just see? I forgot. Yeah, so social media stuff. He's invited to all the events out there, like
Nice.
that media is allowed to go to. He gets invites and passes. So yeah, like that's pretty dope. I mean, because he kind of just started out the way we started out, same culturally we're the same background wise, and to see him be able to have access to a lot of that stuff is that's pretty dope. That's always been like, I guess, the
Hmm.
goal here to get to like that.
Yo, for
So
real, yeah,
pretty dope. Yeah, pretty dope.
yeah.
I Besides us, I think like Polytickin is like, I think you guys are on the verge of getting to that. Just it's a matter of the right person seeing what you guys are putting out. I think so. I think maybe in an event like that for
Mhm.
Polytickin, if we were to all go down as a group and you guys do like some live stuff like that, or
Oh,
just question
yeah.
and answer on the street somewhere, like during a big
I'm
concert or
for
something
that.
like that, or like one of the
Yeah.
should plan to go to one of these festivals that they have over the summers. Like I see Cepha just make it back for Polyfest Sacramento, which was so dope. Shout out to DJ Loose Screws Jesse for having Cepha come back to his hometown and perform, because he's performed before here in Seattle at the Polyfest with DJ Loose Screws, and now he's able to go back to his hometown, put on for the hometown, and show out there, man. Shout out to Seth. But yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Be at one of these, like Holo Holo Fest, or again the Poly
Yeah,
Fest,
yeah.
and just be out here, doing
Talking
interviews
to
like
people.
that.
Man,
Yes,
I
something
that
fun.
man on the street that talking to people
Yep,
and getting their takes
bro.
on like a singular
So
question, that
so
is,
much media, so much media play.
yeah.
Even though they ask questions like, "What's your body count?" Okay,
Oh, what?
like,
No, 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 no. I mean,
no,
what
I'm
the
saying,
fuck?
but not us, but like the content that gets shown everywhere. That's what they're doing. They're just out on the street. It's younger guys, of course, like out on the street,
Oh,
just
no,
people.
when we get to like a group of our people and we can ask stuff like that and really tap in and just see
Yeah,
what the everyday person is thinking about a certain topic, that's
yeah,
one of my favorite like downloads of data information. So similar to what we did at Flight Night, and we got, I mean,
yes.
that was a
Oh,
big
see,
gathering. in Samoa, right? The airplane. That's
Exactly.
yeah.
The
So to go to
airport. That's what I'm
spots
saying.
like that, to
Yeah.
go where people are meeting up, and we have large groups of our population, relative to
I
where we
mean,
are. That's good to talk to them.
first question you're gonna ask them is who you're here to see, and you're gonna see excitement in people's eyes. You know what I mean? Who you here to see at the concert? And of course, just naturally, our Polynesian people are gonna put on. They're gonna have very enthusiastic answers, I'm sure.
Yep,
So it's always good to see. But I'm saying, yeah,
exciting.
you should plan. That could be like the pregame or the practice to going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, good point. Okay, next Polyfest. There's got to be one this fall, right?
There's one in August. Yeah, there's one in
All right.
August. Already.
Shout out to the Polyfest. Shout out DJs Loose Screws.
There you
Was
go.
it Emerald Dynasty?
Emerald Dynasty.
Emerald Dynasty.
Yep.
ENT. Yeah, appreciate you guys for tapping in. Also, shout out to Levasa Island Apparel. July 12th is a Saturday. If you're in the Modesto area, 1331 Cascade Avenue is the address for the Via Dolorosa, the neighborhood market. That's going to be there. If you're a vendor, definitely tap in at Le_Vasa, LE_VASA. Get in touch with Brother Eri about how you can sign up and get out there and sell. They're trying to figure out ways to make it more consistent, better experience. I think it was super windy out there. They freaking rolled with the punches, set up new tents, had to do what they had to
Yeah.
do. But definitely get out there and support, man. These are vendors, these are programmers that are working hard to bring this to us. So definitely, if you're in the area of Modesto, July 12th is a Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m. there at the Via Dolorosa Congregational Church.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also, shout out to the Polytickin Network. It's a Pacifica movie starter kit. We're going to be talking coming of age movies next week, so definitely tap into that. Also, the Polytickin Podcast. I think Cepha was out of town for that. The Polyfest.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what was it called? Was it called
Polyfest.
Polyfest? Polyfest
It's,
Sacramento?
so they have three different cities now that they do. Uh, Originated here, Polyfest in Seattle, or Washington. Sorry, in
Mhm.
Washington. Then they did Hawaii, and now they have Sacramento. So those are
Okay, damn. That's pretty dope.
yeah.
Yeah, so definitely tap into those. Appreciate you guys for listening. We'll be here next Wednesday, 9 o'clock is when we time these to premiere on YouTube, Polytickin Network channel, and on Apple Podcasts and Spotify,
Oh yeah.
if you're listening. Man, this was good stuff. Chargers, make it or break it. This is the year. No, this is not the year, but it could be. It could be. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know.
One more shout out, man. Shout out to Sci-Fi Castings and her crew. She'd also be embarrassed if I was just mentioning her, but I don't know everybody in the crew. It's not just her, but she's a big part of the American Samoa Little League Association.
Let's
Uh,
go.
the turnaround that they had, because before it's always been a big thing in American Samoa, but it kind of
Mhm.
died down a few years ago. Like, wasn't too much noise, but we've always had like we played Australia many times on our way to like the South Pacific Games or trying to get into the Olympics. Of course, Australia's always been able to come out victorious because uh, they've just been at it. Resources, everything. There's a lot of things that they were able to come out there and beat us, but it's always been tight. The association, for whatever reason, kind of just like died down for a little bit. It wasn't as popular. It wasn't really something a lot of kids look forward to in the summer. But Sci-Fi Cassins, her family, her husband, her kids, and a lot of other people that I'm not mentioning right now, no disrespect to them, but they were able to come in and just redo the whole association. And they just traveled. They've been traveling. I think travel ball for them started like maybe I want to say 3 years ago. They also have girls softball, who's also been traveling. They've been doing really great. But the league, the team they sent to Guam a couple weeks ago. Shout out to one of my schoolmates from Marist who was also on the national teams when we were in high school playing baseball for American Samoa, Jeff Felice. He took his son out there, Jesse. They're from Sacramento, but they put in a request to join the team, and he went and tried out, and he did the work. He's a really great baseball player in Sacramento. I'm pretty sure he's ranked among the little leaguers in the states. He joined the team. They went to Guam. They won that tournament. They're currently in the tournament now, somewhere here in I want to say like Missouri or something. Sorry, I don't know the facts, guys, but I just wanted to highlight you guys out there doing a great job. Great to see American Samoa literally getting back to where they used to be. Because
Let's go.
football's always been a great sport for American Samoa, but getting off the island to play football before, like maybe like 15 years ago, it was still tough. It was pretty tough. We had guys get off, but baseball before that was a really big thing. Like colleges were coming out to see guys play, and it's baseball, so it's a lot of colleges you guys probably wouldn't know of because the baseball scene is different in college. Like
Mhm.
professional teams were coming out to see guys. Like when I was in school, a kid from or a guy from someone named Robert Penny had a lot of looks. He went to someone he was older than me. Um, Ted Gebauer out of Marist, he was a pitcher. Uh, a ton of Soleil boys were getting really great looks after high school to go to places. Just we had a ton of great baseball players in American Samoa. It was one of those things where like you know another opportunity to get off island, and I feel like the sport's making a comeback, a big comeback, and you guys couldn't have done it with a better person. Sci Podcasting is out there. Shout out to her and everybody else who's on the association bringing the sport back to American Samoa. Cheers.
U Sports for the win,
Hell yeah.
always.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to y'all. Appreciate you guys, everybody, for listening. Again, if you want to give us, what do we ask for? People to send in players? Nah, I don't know. If you want to hit us up, Ballinesian on Instagram or TikTok, or ballinesian@gmail.com. Let us know how things are going in your neck of the woods, and we will
Right.
let you know what's happening for the Chargers and Raiders for the rest of the offseason. 10 Sundays. We are 10, sorry for yelling, 10 Sundays
Let's
away from NFL action.
let us know what player on your team is about to be a star or is about to be cut after this season. Let us know.
It could go one of two ways. But either
One man.
way, it's going down. Thanks for
One man.
listening. We'll see you guys. One podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay balling, love and light. Peace.